ready.
Wally has played George Michael again on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. Use the word jetapult. It's actually a word people don't realize. Hey, little curveball. Got my fingers on the seams right there. This is Dog Days of Summer. Dog Days of Summer. Who's dog? What is that? Beat up Bulldog Johnny stole his belt and put it on. Roll call. A spidget. A spidget. What's that, babe?
Price is Right.
Price is Right?
Isn't that a talk show? Isn't that Bob Barker?
Bob Barker. You don't know what that is?
Family Feud, man.
Family Feud, man. Heck yeah, Price is Right, man. I hear you.
But that was two classic ones back in the day.
Oh,
man.
yes, sir, it was, man. Well, hey, everyone, welcome to Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. This is the October 17th edition of our show, and as you can see, Mr. Armstrong is not with us tonight. He is actually in Tallahassee, Florida with his daughter, Sydney. So Chuck Dunn, Coach Chuck Dunn, the legendary Coach Chuck Dunn, was gracious enough to come join me tonight on the show. So how are you, my friends?
I'm good. I mean, since James couldn't come on, I thought I'd come on and help you out. You know, I know James probably let you down. He's getting ready for the Dodgers Braves, you know.
Yeah, well, hey, let me tell you, every time I ask James, because we try to switch it out because y'all are two co-host buddies.
Mm-hmm.
James like, I got to run the Enterprise with Hannah.
Yep.
Got to go to Enterprise with Hannah.
But tonight now, I'm assuming he's getting ready for a ball game. Are we going? Have y'all been covering that? Are we going to cover it tonight? Or, I mean,
who's playing now?
It's the White Sox and Giants.
White Sox and Giants. Oh my goodness.
James?
No, I think it's Astros and Boston plays tonight.
That's right.
But I don't know. Did the Braves? Did they ever make it in?
I don't know. It was between the Cubs and the Braves. I don't know which one.
Unbelievable. Well, man, but before we get started with our show, I wanted to introduce a couple new sponsors that we have. As you can see, our book, Boomer on the Jets by Jim Bradford. If you remember last week, Mr. Bradford called the show. He wrote this book. He played for legendary Bear Bryant, and he loved the show so much, Chuck, he said, you know what? I want to sponsor your show and sell some of my books. So if anybody would like this book, please go to Amazon.com and look up Boomer and the Jets. I think it's like $12. It's not expensive, but it's a great book. I read it. But again, thank you so much, Mr. Bradford, for calling last week, and thank you for sponsoring the show.
That's good.
For sure. But, Chuck, I guess I got started off about the dadgum weather, man. Fall is in the air, dude. And I'm going to tell you this much. It's good because, you know, the Trojans won on a pick six Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Bama won. Auburn won. Braves win on a walk-off double. And Doty loses on the first and goal formation, victory formation, Tampa Bay Bucks game on Thursday night. Man, what a weekend.
And it's all because the weather changed.
It's
all that
changed.
good stuff about sports. You know, this time of year, there's more things to cover, you know, with the baseball ending up and all that. But I know you love this weather, and I asked Wally why he don't have a short-sleeve shirt on. I mean, he's an offensive lineman. You know, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, you know, but I know you liking this weather, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, man, you got the sweatshirt on and stuff, man. But
Yeah. Well, and this time of year, I know you're getting ready to decorate for Halloween, right?
Oh, my God.
James, isn't he decorating for Halloween, James?
Have you seen all the people that decorate for Halloween now? When did this happen, folks? I don't understand. When did we start decorating? There's some displays in our neighborhood that's like we could open up a haunted house.
I mean, my mom just had a pumpkin. That was it.
Yeah, that's what my mom. We used to have a pumpkin. Do they even do that anymore? Remember cutting the pumpkins up and making the faces and stuff and all that?
I know my wife's got a couple on the porch there, you know, but because you know trick or treating, you know how crazy that is in our neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Speaking of trick or treating, do you know when trick or treating is this year?
It's the
We'll see on the 31st.
It's the last Thursday. I thought it was the last Thursday of the month. Is that not right?
I don't know. So if anybody is watching the show live, please text me, Chuck, or Neil and tell us when trick or treating is in Troy, because I thought, again, it was on Sunday, and I saw a couple people put on Facebook, you know, no, it's not on Sunday or anything like that.
Hey, I want somebody. I think it's the 28th. That's that Thursday. I may be wrong though. You're right, because our neighborhood crazy.
It's
you know
crazy,
how that is,
exactly. Man. But hey, whatever you do, when you do trick or treat, do not go to Neil's house. You know what? You know I went there last year. You know what he gave me? some of those dumb things. You know, dumb things you get like
those little bitty.
you get like a sack for 50 cents, and Neil's just got thousands of them, man. But I tell you what, though, folks, if you really want some good candy and hit the gold mine, go to David Hennigan's house. Man, he has the Butterfinger bars.
Does he turn the lights on for that?
Yes, man. David, he sits out on the front porch. Him and David Ains, man, they hand out big old Butterfinger.
What does he do with Killer? Does he lock Killer up?
Yeah, he locks Killer up. Yeah, he locks him up. But yeah, go to David Hennigan's house, man, because you're gonna get all that stuff, man.
But your trick or treat, we usually, I know you probably, we usually, cause we live up in the front part. We're not in the high society back in the part where y'all are, but after it's over with, we always come over to Big David Adams' house, you know, and I think everybody's kind of made it back that way. But man, it is so hard to get in. If you don't get in there, I mean, you can't after it's already started. You gotta wait till it's over with. It's so crowded.
So does he trick or treat too?
Well, Big Dave's got the two little girls, and they get out there with my two. They have, in years past. So
yeah. I tell you another guy that gives out a lot of candy, Kevin Bryan, man.
Kevin does?
Kevin gives out a lot of candy for sure. But man, yeah, but trick or treating, we'll find out when it is. I know my phone is blowing off the hook right now, so I guess we do know, but after the next commercial break, we will talk about it. But hey, speaking of another David Adams, I did want to mention that our good friend David Adams, the realtor, has been real sick up at UAB, and we wanted the Sports Chat and Neil Wally family wants to wish the Adams family prayers, and man, just his healing will get better. Dave's a big fan of our show. He always, talks about us and what we do, and man, just keep their family in prayer.
Yeah, I talked to Kevin today, and they're keeping fingers crossed. I know he started a bunch of different treatments today and everything. But real quick, David Adams, we could get from his house in Josie to the Banks of Ballarat in about 10 minutes. Back in the day, man.
Are you serious?
David Adams, Toyota Corolla back in the day.
Toyota Corolla, man. Heck yeah. Well, also going on another note, did you see? And we're going to talk about this later on, but did you see all the stuff that happened at Neyland Stadium on Saturday night? Man. Unbelievable. If you did not watch football, look at this.
That's awful.
A bunch of the coaches got hit with golf balls. Your safety of your players as a coach, you got to, and you never know what's being thrown at you. I back in the day, it's just, and that's a scary side. I hate it for Tennessee. To me, it's a bad look for them. Bad. Unbelievable. Did you ever, when you coached in the college league, did y'all ever have anything like this?
I tell you, me and my oldest boy was talking about this the other day at Arkansas with Auburn playing at Arkansas. At Arkansas, it's like where the players sit at, and you're on a knee talking to them. They butt up to the wall, and the students right on top of us. And it was actually neat. They didn't throw stuff at you, but they were cool. They joked. They knew every one of the players, named my name, and it was fun. But Mississippi State might have been that was very hostile, because that was when Dak Prescott was the quarterback, and we played his last year there. And man, you thought the cowbells were on top of you. That thing's so loud. And I know it was rocking last night with Alabama, but there's a lot of places though you're scared for. You got to be a little worried, But
oh yeah, but this is my thing. Who comes to the stadium with a bunch of golf balls in their pocket? I don't understand that. And like you and I were talking earlier, if somebody heaved one of those
from the upper deck,
from the third floor of that stadium and hit you in the noggin, man, you're gonna be.
And that one landed right in front of Lane,
But man, I saw beer bottles, golf, but the golf ball things just.
Who does bring that? Who brings that to a game? Is that the golf team sitting up there throwing it?
Yeah, have you ever just?
Fluorescent yellow.
Yeah, those fluorescent
yellow, as our producer David Doty says. What? Are you at a fraternity party? You drinking some beers and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a golf ball."
Hey, Walter, you bring a couple. I'll bring a couple.
You bring a couple.
But that had to have been planned though for him, Lane Kiffin coming. So you think about, what we're saying about who brings it, but I think all the things that were brought extra that's never brought was for Lane Kiffin's, for him coming back to Neyland Stadium.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this much. It was very disappointing for the SEC because let me tell you, Neyland Stadium have not had that many people in that
packed,
stadium
man. I mean, it was
in
finally
probably
packed.
10 to 15 years, Chuck. And you got 108,000 crazy fans up there wearing the checkered. I mean, it looks so cool, and they played so hard, and over just one call that just didn't go their way, and then they just imploded. And
I think the
hate
hatred
that.
for Lane Kiffin just,
I think so, man.
and that's awful. I mean, that's college coaching, I guess. But
Yeah.
well, man, what about the fire? Have you built a fire yet?
I have not built a fire yet. I wanted to, but I tell you what, what about you? Have you built one yet?
No. I've been inside my sweatshirt on. No. We will eventually. We don't have a nice one like you do right there, but that's yours right there at your house.
Now, what we need to do is go to Neil's, man. You know, Neil's got
know.
the honeycomb hideout now. Got the big screen TV.
Well, James. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, James, man, James don't even call me no more.
James won't. When the Dodgers get beat, he'll probably call us if that happens, James. I don't know.
Oh
if it
my
is,
goodness, man! I don't understand it. But also one other thing on show notes I've got to talk about. There was a sad situation down at Ladd's People's Stadium Friday night. I don't know if you know this. I'm sure a lot of people do. But Viger was playing Williamson, and there was some shots fired in the stadium, and one person was severely injured, and then like 4 others got shot. Again, that's
bad for high school football.
It's bad, so bad for high school football. I saw the video. I don't know if you watched it, but I put myself in my own shoes, as you know, my kids and your kids both play football. How if we were going to go play at Pebble Pebble Stadium next week, I probably wouldn't let my son go.
No, that's what's bad. And you know, all the Mobile public schools down that way, they all play now at Ladd Stadium. You know, now like McGill, Tulane, the private schools, they play at their own stadiums. So I'm gonna tell you, 2003, Prattville High School, we played Viger in the third round of the playoffs at Viger at Old Pritchard Stadium, the one that was, the one right there on the interstate. And that was, I had to be in the press box, and they have a track around there, and you know there's police officers on horses, and I had to go up through their stands to get the press box, but you know none of them play there anymore. They all go to the last stadium, you know, and play. But I saw the one about the radio announcer that was calling that game. I saw that video, you know, from the shop. It's sad. I hope everybody's okay, and you know they're going to resume that game tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I don't know if you.
I did not know that. I'm glad you added that.
They're resuming that game. I think
with
so.
With no fans.
Well, no, I didn't read about fans. I'm sure security, you know, will be amped up, you know, whatever. But but they're going to resume it in the morning.
Well, I'll tell you this much, and we'll leave that at this. I know when we've been to Crampton Bowl as a spectator, we went through a metal detector, which I did not mind that at all.
Well, they used to have one. They used to. When I coached at South down there, they used to have one. But I don't. Like I said, I've been apart from down there, so I don't know if they still do. But they need to. I guess they will now.
Oh yeah. But again, how
sad.
We joke about the golf balls being brought in the game, but heck, even worse, a weapon.
Sad.
Sure.
And it came from the home side.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't remember who was home, but it came from the home side.
Unbelievable. Anyway, I hope whoever is severely injured gets well and gets back to everyday life. Well, listen, we got a great show tonight at 6:30 tonight on this program. We got a special guest, Mr. Kenny Freeman from Demopolis, Alabama. He's going to call in and tell us about the dedication of a new field house. Yeah. There he is. There's Kenny, the guy to the right. The gentleman to his left is named Albert Thomas, and he is known as Canned Good. And the local affiliate in Mobile did a big story about this a couple weeks ago, and I'm anxious to see if once Kenny calls, has any of the big networks picked up, because they hashtagged like Oprah Winfrey, the Today Show, all these big time. I saw even Tim Tebow's thing. So I'm anxious to see if anything got picked up. But that's a special story. Yeah. And if you did not read that we put on our Sports Chat with Neil and Wally Facebook page, you need to, man, and get a handkerchief because it's very teary-eyed, but we're excited about that. And also, we're going to see if I won the Steel Wally's Pizza this week. You know, Chuck was a winner. Have you got the pizza yet? Did you eat it yet?
Gardner got one of them. He got,
you two-time winner, aren't you?
Yeah, he got one of them. He hasn't got the other one though. Wally does his at 6:58 on Friday evening.
No, I do not. I did mine. We had some tough games this week,
yeah,
so you got to stay tuned
toughest
and
one,
see.
yeah.
And I guess just because we love James so much, we are gonna check and see and talk a little bit about the Dodgers-Braves game. As we mentioned earlier in the program, Braves on a walk-off. I stayed up and watched that. You know, I'm not a Braves fan like you are. I'm a Cubbies. Everybody knows that. But the Braves did. They got the first win.
You know, James was keeping us updated, him and Neil, and I was in the living room watching Alabama, and Gardner and Winnie, they were in the bedroom, and you know, they were yelling. I don't know if it was good or bad. And then James would text and go if it's bad or good, you know. But once Alabama got over with, I watched the last 2 innings.
Hey, I got to say this before we go to commercial break. I got so tickled at the text group bunch that was it last year that during the show James goes to Neil's house and sits in Neil's seat and takes a picture of it.
There's
for
a
the
picture
mojo.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a picture of James sitting in Neil's seat to break up the mojo. And Neil's like, how did you get that? And he goes, well, I just asked Michelle, can I sit in your seat, and took a picture.
I think Neil has warned the whole family now. Don't let James.
I bet now Neil's on the road somewhere. I guarantee you James done gone over there.
Neil, I hope you've got the dogs covering the back porch and all that where James can't get in.
That is a classic, man. Only, man. We got some good friends too.
Yeah, we do.
Well, listen, we're up against our first commercial break, so don't turn that dial. When we get back, we got Facebook funnies and a lot of stuff to cover. So we'll be right back.
Dadgummit. Man, what's going on, Wally? What's wrong with that thing? Oh, Neil, Dad, my gum, man. I can't cut grass. I can't have nothing anymore.
Is it broke? I mean,
I don't know.
I chopped it all up over there.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. What I should have done was called Blake Turner with Turner Mowing at 334-465-0600, and I wouldn't be in this predicament
Look
right
at
here.
this. Best rates in town. Call Blake Turner. He'll give you a low quote. He'll give you the best job.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, have you seen Mr. Wally?
Is this him over here? He's been sleeping here every night for the past week.
Oh my God. Wally, wake up, man. Wally, what are you doing asleep at Mr. Mattress?
Oh, man, these beds are so comfortable with Mr. Mattress.
My gosh, Wally, you can't be sleeping up here. Y'all even know how you got in here?
No idea.
They got Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Serta, Nectar, Troy, Enterprise, Montgomery. Come see the dream team and Mr. Mattress. Wally, we got a show to do. Come on, get up, man. Get up.
Man.
Here, man.
Well, I'm up here at Bill Jackson. I'm about to break in this Raptor out here and go take it for a test drive, bro.
Hey, you want to break in? Why don't you just ask them for a test drive? They're nice. They're up here. Bill Jackson Ford, Bill Jackson Chip. Hey, Bill Jackson got both sides of 231 covered, man. F-150s, Mustang GTs, Chevy Tahoes, Cadillacs, GMC trucks, you name it. Come to Bill Jackson Auto for all your auto needs. Wally, what in the world are you doing up under this mobile home and the hitch of the truck?
Neil, I just bought a brand new mobile home from Smith Manufacturing, baby.
Well, if you bought it from Smith Manufacturing Mobile Homes, they set it up for free for you. They deliver it, set it up. They even hook up the AC and include the dirt work. 566-3883. You serious, Clark? I'm serious, Clark. Double wides, single wides, sheetrock housing. Come see them, Smith Manufacturing Mobile Homes. Come on, man. Get up from there. Come on.
Wally, what are you doing in the cornfield, man? Get the corn, dude.
Corn?
Yeah.
You can't give people's corn. That's against the law. Why don't you go to Piggly Wiggly on 231 or Greenock where it's fresh produce? Come on, man. Now, isn't this better? Air conditioning. Look at all this produce, man. Here we are at Piggly Wiggly on 231. Also, best butcher in Pike County, Reader's Choice 2020.
Hey, Neil, man, need some help, man. I watched Point Break last night. Well, Patrick Swayze.
What happened? Here comes the lifeguard.
Same guys, yesterday you already wrecked my kayak and got an insurance.
Are you okay?
Man, I think I pulled.
pulled your leg
Pull
muscle?
my leg muscle.
You're going to have to go to Health Action to get that worked out with physical therapy. Give them a call, 670-5435. Health Action's in front of Hook's Barbecue. Man, I hope you're okay.
Back in black.
Back in black, man. Who's the lead guitarist?
Nah, that's all you. You're the expert at that. That's what year though? 88?
Oh no, that was probably 1980 when they released Back in Black. Probably the number 2 highest selling album of all time.
Okay.
Big time.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, hey, up next is our favorite part of the program that we will get yelled at if we forget to do it, and that is Facebook Funny. So let's see what we got here. Rock and roll bands for folks your age: Grateful, We're Not Dead, Earth, Wind, Fiber, Fleetwood Crack, Booby Brothers, Johnny Knoxville, Third.
Oh my God.
Oh my
That's good.
goodness.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Weird Dogs. I do not get that one.
What's the
buddy.
one? That's cut off over here, I think, Dodie.
Yeah, it was cut off, dude. I think I'm overfeeding my turkeys. All alone, Bert.
Ernie.
Stop complaining about your life. There are literally people who live in California.
Wow.
That's true. Oh my goodness. Covered in spiders, man.
Spiders, man. That's a good one.
So
Best part of
get
the show
off.
right there.
I know, man. Some of those things, man, it just gets me, man.
I wish y'all need to get a top 10. Dodie, y'all need
Yeah,
to come up
that's
with the top
coming.
10 best ones y'all done.
I even had somebody tell me one day at work, says, why don't y'all just once a year do a show just on Facebook Funnies
Yeah.
and talk about it and break it down
Yep.
and all that. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure people would like to see that. But, hey, we did do the wrestling one time. We got to get back, do that one
Supervisor,
day.
when is he? Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about supervisors
All
later.
right, so we got air volleyball. I know we need to get this in for Ben and James. I know their daughters. The volleyball finished up, area runner-up. GW Long also wins their area tournament. Enterprise won the Class 7A tournament, and I think what James and Ben said yesterday, they all play next week in Montgomery.
In
I think
Montgomery.
Wednesday, I believe.
Now, I think that's for the super regional, I think you
Yeah, that's
said.
the one that's in Montgomery or in the Cranton Bowl. That's everybody from this part, like Ayrton will be there, Long will be there, Charles Henderson. But Charles Henderson lost to Andalusia, right?
Yeah, they
Andalusia
did.
won it.
They lost to Andalusia.
And then GW Long beat Ayrton for their area tournament.
But you know,
So-
Neil and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Volleyball has just really picked up in the last 5 years here. That and wrestling, Chuck. I mean, it has just.
I don't get a chance to watch a lot of the Charles Henderson anymore volleyball, but let me tell you, the GW Long volleyball team, when you talking about a bunch of girls that can hit a volleyball now, and I'm not knocking, I don't see the other ones, Enterprise and all them, but GW Long girls, they can play some volleyball.
They play
some volleyball.
so, but amazing. That is cool. And then also, Neil had put on our Facebook page beginning of the week the 2021 Alabama High School and Mississippi, Alabama/Mississippi All-Star team. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up tonight, Chuck, I did have a question. We only had 2 players from our catchment area that made the team. I mean, I'm puzzled about that. Carterius Perry from Pike Road, which is almost, I think he is a 5-star.
Yeah, the defensive lineman. Yeah.
Yes, and then, of course, Emmanuel Henderson from Geneva County were the only ones. What is up with that? Can you explain?
And this has gone on for a lot of years, and for me, you study the. It is a hard decision. I get it, but there's a lot of good players in this, in high school football, and you look at this list, it is always the bigger, and I'm not knocking them, but it's always the 6A and the 7As, and if Emmanuel Henderson wasn't an Alabama guy, he wouldn't have been on it. He's a 2A guy, but I wish and I've said it for years. There's a lot of kids that get left off these all-star games because they pick the bigger school. And I get it; they're trying to go over there and win a ball game, but there's some kids that are 3A off high school that probably just as good as some of these kids just because they're at a bigger school. But Man, I looked at this list too when it came out, and number one, not only is it a lot of bigger schools, it's a lot of schools now from Montgomery and above too now. You know, as well as Mobile. There it is right there. You know, and you know, it's tough. It's a tough decision, man. I get it. It's a but you know, my thing too is Emmanuel Henderson. He's getting a lot of props. You know, he's getting a lot of glory and all this. Let's get another cat that's maybe not getting the things he's getting to go in there and represent. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents about it, you know.
Yeah, and I guess one of the big questions I was going to ask you, since you've been a coach a very long time, I guess, Chuck, does the head coach actually submit or nominate different players to do this?
Yeah, by so many months ahead of your season, you have to, this is every sport, this is football, basketball, baseball, you have to nominate so many rising seniors, whatever, you know, and then the committee picks, you know. So, you know, you're the head coach at T.R. Miller, I'm the head coach at W.S. Neal. You know, you may nominate 4 guys, I may nominate 1, you know, and so there's a big list, and then they have a committee that breaks the list down. But again, if that list, you look at it, it is, you know, it's Oxford High School, it's, you know, Hoover High School, it's Thompson High School, and I get it, man. They're trying to go win a ball game, but you know, there's some players from Prattville down this way that can go up there and represent just as good, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I look like at Tucker Kilcrease at Brantley.
Yeah,
a stud quarterback. Yeah. I mean,
but he's at Brantley, a little 1A school. I mean, that's just the way it is. And Alabama high school guys are watching, you know, can disagree, but there are some smaller classification guys and that can go and represent just as quality.
Just as quality. I mean, it just kind of it just baffles me, and I mean, I'm not bashing them. I'm
not either.
It just, as a spectator and as us covering a lot of the lower counties in this catchment area, you would think we would just have, but you answered my
and you also, the other All-Star game you have is, you know, north-south during the summertime, and yeah, I just wish they would somehow make sure they're covering from 1A to 7A, from Mobile all the way up, you know, and try not to. Now there's schools that don't have players. I get it, you know, but I know around this area, the linebacker at Elba High School, number 44, you can't tell me he couldn't go up there and represent. The one that's committed to South Alabama.
Yeah, that cat is
about 6'2", about 225, and runs like a deer. You know, you tell him he can't go up there and play in that ball game, you know. Anyway,
that's more than what we bargained for with it. Yeah. Well, listen, we're up against our next break, and hopefully by the time we get back, Mr. Kenny Freeman's going to call, and it's an exciting segment. I'm very excited actually to hear about this. So hang on, we'll be right back.
Man, did you see the size of that crowd, man?
Man, the Pompano's that big down here, dude.
I don't know what it is, man. It must be these shirts.
Oh,
They like these shirts, man. Deep South Apparel, Pete Van Horn in Montgomery.
And heck yeah, man, they even go good, even salt water they can.
Salt water fishing. Deep South Apparel in Montgomery. Call Pete Van Horn. Man, what's that noise? What are you doing with that air conditioner heating unit?
Neil, my air conditioner went out last night, and I'll tell you what, I watch YouTube, and I know how to do all this stuff now.
Look, Wally, this could be really dangerous, man. You need to call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, 268-0917. Licensed, insured, and bonded. You need to call Matt Johnson, Wally.
Hey, Neil, what does this red thing do?
Don't pull on the red wire. That could be dangerous, man. What'd you do? Don't pull on that red wire. Good gravy. Now you've done it. Call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling.
Sweet Grace, unbelievable.
Mr. Neal, is this the guy that does the sports show with you?
Oh no, yes it is.
He was in last week and bought all my Sweet Grace, and now he's back again.
Wally, he's got enough Sweet Grace at home. Put this stuff back. Man, some good stuff, man. Please come to Glow on the square, shop local. Come and get you some Sweet Grace before Wally gets it all.
Well, hey there, Mr. Wally. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. How'd you get in here?
I better not tell you.
They don't even open till 4.
Well, I'm waiting to hear Mr. Lenny Traver play, and I'm going to give him one of these bad boy steaks that they won an award for.
Best steak in the state. Also, Best Catfish Awards a couple years in a row. Hey, my personal favorite is the fried shrimp and the cheese grits. Also, not mentioning the cheese biscuits that come out before the meal. You're going to love that. I know. And a little live music, like you said, Mr. Lenny Trelick, you can't beat it down at the old barn in Goshen, Alabama. Come see them.
Come see us.
Blake, where's your dad?
Let me come outside, the house flooded.
The house flooded. Are you kidding me? What in the world? What in the world, Wally? Man, 3 pipes busted, my house all flooded, man. You have got to be kidding, man. Why didn't you call Rand Anderson at Alabama Restoration, 371-5591? You wouldn't be wearing goggles and snorkels and slinging water out the front door? Unbelievable. Alabama Restoration, no disaster is too big. 371-5591. Give them a call today. Oh, man. Wally, what are you doing at the UPS store? My printer is jammed, man. I got to do 2,000 copies for the Penske file. Well, why even worry with that little bitty printer and print one at a time, man? You're going to run out of ink. Look, UPS store does mass printing. They can print 2,000 or 3,000 copies. Cheap, fast, and efficient. Isn't that right? Yes, sir. I mean, why even mess with it? Come to the UPS store on Brothers Street. UPS store, all your printing needs.
Who's that, Chuck?
Neil, who is it?
Nick. I bet Mr. Kenny knows. That's the Rolling Stones. Man.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Well, hey, welcome back. And like we said in the beginning of the program, we are honored we got Mr. Kenny Freeman, Circuit Clerk of Marengo County, here online with us. Welcome, Mr. Freeman.
Man, I appreciate y'all for calling. Let me talk a little bit.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, the reason we asked you to call, Kenny, and you don't mind me calling you Kenny, do you? Hey,
Well,
and
that's great.
hey, for the people that are watching, Kenny's probably the best circuit clerk in Alabama besides Jamie Scarborough, you know.
Probably more like probably the dumbest one.
No, man. That for people that don't know what the circuit clerk is, they're elected officials like Jamie Scarborough's ours here in Pike County, and Kenny's a great one. He serves on our education committee, so I've known him a long time. Good fella. But Kenny, the reason we asked you to call is there's a special dedication y'all are going to have at Demopolis High School next weekend. Tell us all about this now. There he is on TV right there.
Yeah, it's it's really something special. It's unique. It's something you don't see every day. We've got a guy, Albert Thomas, nicknamed Can Good. Don't really know where the nickname came from, but everybody knows him as Can Good. If you said Albert Thomas, you wouldn't know him. But he's been the manager for the Demopolis football team for 46 years.
Wow.
And, he's just a special individual and about as loyal to somebody as you will ever see. I mean, he's if you were to cut him, he'd bleed royal blue, I promise you. He's unbelievable. He's 46 years, started in 1975. I think he was 20 years old. He's 67 now. But do the math, I think he's about 20. And all that time, as far as we know, he's missed one ball game.
Wow.
One game.
Wow.
In 46 years. And he's also the manager for the basketball team and the baseball team. And he's seen 8 coaches. I'm going to give you a little bit on him. 387 victories, best I can tell. 78 playoff appearances. 22 regional titles. 2 state championships in football. 2 in baseball. And I'm telling you, he's just as loyal as he can be. And we're gonna rename or not rename. We're gonna name the Demopolis Fieldhouse the Albert Thomas Fieldhouse.
That's awesome.
Oh man, good gracious.
29. And I promise you, he is a unique, special individual.
Well, Mr. Freeman, like I was telling you before, you know, for all the listeners, they probably a lot of guys watching that knows Cody Keene that used to coach here. That's how I got to hear about Can Good, through him. And he talked highly of him like yourself. But I know Cody talked about, he knew him since he was probably when his daddy was coaching there in junior high. But how long have you known him and his importance to the Demopolis football program? Having somebody there that long, to me, just kind of makes that program, special.
Well, let me tell you, I've known of Ken Good since the 70s, and I was quarterback club president in the 2000 when Coach Tom Causey was here, and I got real close with Ken Good then. And but I've known him pretty much since the 70s. I've known of him, but really got to know him well in the mid 2000s. In 2006 or 2004, we won a state championship. I was a little bit involved with the quarterback club some there, but got more involved a few years later and really got to know Ken Good. And he's my buddy now. And one thing about Ken Good, he's like, when I see him now, one of the first things he's going to ask me is about my son who graduated 2013. But he's going to say, "Where's Jake? Where's Jake? How's Jake?" He's always going to ask about him. And he remembers all the players.
That's great.
I mean, and let me tell you, one of the traditions we have that the players really love, and I promise you, if somebody wants to mess with Ken Good, he's got an army behind him. It will just be a mess now. But the kids absolutely worship him. They love him. And on Friday night, he will pick. Normally a senior, he will pick one senior, like my son one year on homecoming. He picked him. He wore his number.
Wow.
We were home because Jake had on this 77 blue jersey, and Ken Good wore his white 77 jersey. And that's a huge honor for a player. For Ken Good, he honors them by wearing their jersey, and everybody just wants him. Hey, wants him. They don't go say, wear mine, but they just look for the day when he does. It's really, really special.
That is incredible. And Kenny, I saw where the Mobile TV affiliate, they hashtagged a lot of celebrities about this story. They also hashtagged, I know, like Oprah Winfrey, all this. Have y'all heard anything from your camp about them trying to do a story or coming down and doing a story? Have y'all heard anything?
I have not. Well, I know we've had several TV stations that called them just possibly going to come that night, but I haven't heard from any celebrities or anything. I've been kind of heading this thing up, getting it started and getting it going, but I really haven't heard anything yet. I would like to. That'd be great, I mean, he deserves it. His loyalty is just unreal.
Mr. Freeman,
look, he's volunteer. He doesn't get paid.
Mr. Freeman, does he graduated from Demopolis? Is that correct? Did he go to high school?
I don't think Ken Good went. I don't think he graduated. I mean, he's special,
But he's born and raised in Demopolis, is what I mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he comes to school every day. He comes to the school every day. Usually, Coach James Moody will pick him up and bring him. He and James Moody are close. I don't know, Coach Moody graduated from a school there. What's the private school there in Montgomery? I thought it slipped my mind. I can't think of what it is, but it's there in Montgomery. And he left Demopolis. Coach Moody been here several years. 10 years ago, left and went back to Montgomery. And he came back to visit. And him and Ken Good wouldn't speak to him. And he asked Coach Tozer, "What's wrong with Ken Good?" He said, "Man, you don't wear that blue anymore. That's what's wrong with Ken Good."
That's good.
Ken Good, no sir, you jumped ship.
Well, I tell you what, Ken, it's kind of like that movie Radio, that Cuba Gooding Jr. did.
When that came out, Wally, everybody said that's Ken. And it's continued on, and it's still going. And he slowed down a lot. He normally leads the team out onto the field every Friday night, and each year he's gotten a little bit closer to the sideline ahead of them, and he's used the cane a little bit now. And
I think the Moody guy went to St. James, correct? Is that the school in Montgomery?
I think so.
That's what Cody King just texted me. He said he thought it was St. James.
I think that's right.
Man.
But Coach Moody, he's a staple at the. He's been there for years. He's our defensive coordinator and head baseball coach, and he's been there, gosh, probably all told 20 years or so now, I would think. But he's a super guy too. He's just as good to Ken Good as you can be, and they fuss and argue like brothers, But I can see they got each other's back. Now Tom Cosby got real close with Ken Good when he was here. He won a state championship, and then Doug Good won a state championship here, and of course Ken Good was there with that. And of course now we got Brian Seymour, and we're chasing another state championship. And by the way, I heard y'all talking about volleyball earlier. Our girls won the Area 7 championship, and they're coming to Montgomery Wednesday.
All right. Well, that's good. And Kenny, I did want to tell everybody this. I really enjoyed when Noah quarterbacked Charles Henderson. We went down there twice. in the playoffs, and I just wanted to tell you that your community, Demopolis, was the nicest place that we visited. I mean, the people there was so generous. You helped Neil and I out in the press box, and man, y'all should be very very proud that y'all have such a nice community.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I remember Noah, and I hope he's doing well. Now I'm sure he is. Noah's going to do well. No doubt he's a fine young man, a heck of an athlete.
Well,
I remember well.
I appreciate it, but yeah, and I know we got mutual friends, Brazel. That's her real name.
That's right.
Good folks.
I announced the games in the state. Her husband, he's fighting for me.
He's fighting for you. Oh man, but they're good folks.
Every time I mess up, I say I'm just as good as my spotter.
I hear you. Well, Mr. Freeman, thank you so much that you took time to call and let our viewing audience see you and Canned Good. And I know we won't be able to be there, but I'm assuming, like I said, a lot of news affiliates will, and I'll be able to watch the dedication. But that is so special. And again, thank you so much for telling us that story.
Well, listen, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. You my man, Wally. I love you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate it too, Mr. Kenny. Well, listen, we'll let you go. We're up against commercial break, and I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you very much, Wally.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. And again, man, what a great story. And I know we're up, our producers saying we got to go to commercial break. But don't turn that dial. We got to talk some football, man, and see who won the pizza. So we'll be right back.
Preston, I'm so hungry. I'm hungry too. You ready? What are you doing? Kelly Tater. What are you doing? Wally, that's somebody's food.
What kind of nut are you?
I'm so sorry. He gets in a trance when we come to Preston. I apologize. He is a nut job. Hey, snap out of it, man. Oh, that's not yours. Oh, we're Preston's on. Come out to Preston's and get your own Kelly Tater. What in the world, Wally? What is that?
Oh, dear, I done hit this buck down the road, buddy.
Where's your truck?
Oh, I totaled it.
What about the insurance?
I don't think I got a lick of
My
insurance.
gosh, if you got Crease Insurance, we're covered. We'll have to go there. Your truck a wreck?
It's totaled.
We're going to have to go to All-Star Collision to get it fixed. Come on, put the deer in.
You see, Mr. Mike?
Man, is Mr. Crease in? Wally has hit a deer, and he's got insurance with Crease Agency. Mike!
Wally's what happened?
Wally's hit a deer, man.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Can you mount this thing?
Well, I mounted the one I killed. I guess we'll mount yours
We're
too.
gonna
But first, we're going to fix your truck.
That
Good
sounds
deal.
good.
Call the Crease Agency for all your insurance needs. Wally, what are you doing at Roadmart on 231 in Troy, man? What are you doing at that time?
Oh, Neil, I'm going to put some 25s on this bad boy.
Oh, Lord, 25?
Yeah.
They even make 25? Hey, they can do specialty rims at Roadmart here in Troy, Alabama. They also do brake work and change your oil, anything under the hood here at Roadmart on 231. And they can even get Wally some 25s for his man. 566-3413 Roadmart on 231.
Man, I got a big party coming on tonight, man. I got girls coming
What?
everywhere. Hey,
What are you doing up here at Southern Grill and Patio, man, with all you girls?
getting a big green egg, man. Only place in Troy that's got them.
You having a big party, I heard you
Oh,
say?
yeah, got girls coming and
Well,
everything.
you need to get all this deck furniture. They got the big green eggs, the medium green eggs, the little green eggs, everything for a big party on a deck. They got the wood thing. Hey, you got pellet grills, gas grills, anything you need. Southern Grill and Patio on North 3 Notch in Troy, Alabama. Man, I'm out here at Firehouse Subs in Troy and I ordered me a sandwich on my app. Best sandwiches in town, Firehouse Subs, Troy, Alabama. What? What are you doing? What are you doing up here at Firehouse?
Bill, they said for a fireman get free subs, man.
They don't get free subs. Firemen get discounts.
Oh, discounts.
But they know you're not a fireman.
Yeah.
Come on, I ordered on my app. It was super easy. I'll pay for yours. Come on in. What are you doing with the hose? What are you doing with the hose? So nice. Welcome to Firehouse in Troy. Come see them. Best subs in town. What are you doing in the surgery room at Southern Animal Hospital? Pet Resort.
I'm about to circumcise this dog.
Man, don't circumcise that dog. Let Dr. Steve Barron help you with the spade and neuter process. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort, 770-1838. You got to be a medical professional and board certified to perform these kind of dog procedures on surgery. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort.
And here we say, help me please.
That's a good song.
I mean, Neil, we're playing this tonight. Are you listening? That's a good show, though. Seriously.
That was. I bet Neil said this like Wally is never doing a show without me again. I'm telling you.
Really
Okay,
good
let's
show.
hit the
All
bell
right,
and go some football.
All right, big game Friday night in Elba between Ayrton Purple Cats and Elba. I believe it was number 4 ranked Ayrton and number 5 ranked Elba. The Elba Tigers defeated Ayrton 41-25 at Maclewood Field in Elba. Because of that, now there's a 3-way tie between Elba, Ayrton, and Long. They've all beat each other, and that's after Long had beat Geneva County the other night. They're all 5-1, and it's going to come down to the tiebreakers next week of the opponents of the non-region teams that they all 3 played, and they'll be decided next week. Stats on that: Alvin Henderson, who's just a 9th grader for Elba, who's 8-1, had 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 in the first half. That the Tigers were ahead 20-6 at the halftime. For Ayrton, who's also 8-1, Ian Sin threw for 279 yards, 14-32, 2 touchdown passes, and 2 interceptions. Defensively for Ayrton, Matthew Harrell had 11 tackles, also had a touchdown catch. Zach Phillips had 8 tackles. Jordan Smith and Dwayne Roddy had 7. That was a big ball game. I watched it on TV. Big rival between them 2 teams, and now the 3-way tie. Long beat Elba, Elba beat Ayrton, Ayrton beat Long. So it's going to come down to their non-region teams, and I think it's going to be Elba, Ayrton, Long is what I'm predicting as far as who they played. But after next week, it'll be official.
Yeah, and Chip Wallace, our big buddy, had mentioned the same thing on text on that 3-way tie.
Yeah.
Well, right down the road, Enterprise, just blanketed Jeff Davis 60-40. Unbelievable. Wildcats prevailing 60-40 that night. Enterprise is now 7-2, 3-2, and 7A. They clinch a state playoff berth. And I tell you, that new coach they got down there this last couple of years, man, I think he's really turned that program around. And they're in a hard read, that 7A. Ooh, my goodness.
Castle, that's Auburn.
Ooh, Lord. But anyway, just a few little stats on that. They struck first with Amari Griffin. He scored on an 11-yard touchdown run. And Mikel Johnson scored on a 2-point conversion, gave them 8-0 lead. Griffin also scored on a 33-yard run. And Quentin Hayes on a 7-yard run. So a lot of and Jeff Davis was supposed to be good this year. That was the reason I was like, my gracious, what in the world?
Good for Enterprise.
But anyway, Jeff Davis, they only scored on a 6-yard run to finish up the 50-point quarter, with Enterprise at that time leading 38-12. And what about the GW Long?
GW Long and Geneva County. That was played Friday night. GW Long won 49-20. As we said, the Rebels are now 7-1 and again 5-1 in the air, as well as Ayrton and Elba. Geneva County fell to 4-4. Just a few little stats. Jackson Chancey for the GW Long, who's a phenomenal baseball player as well, had 174 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and he also had 12 tackles on the night. For Geneva County, Emmanuel Henderson, who's kind of been off and on this year as far as playing games, had 207 yards, 18 carries, and touchdown runs of 79, 2, and 48. But Geneva County, I think it's going to come down to them and Abbeville for the 4th place, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, pretty neat. And going on the Carroll versus Charles Henderson, and I wanted to give a plug there to Les Peralt. He asked Neil and I to go down to Ozark. We ate at El Placio's. And man, had a great time. We got to speak to their, I would say, quarterback club. The mayor was there. They had Coach Plott. Very nice, man. And Neil and I were very humble to come down there and speak. And we talked a little bit about sports chat and all that and about Charles Henderson. But anyway, coming back that night, Charles Henderson lost 52-22. That means that Carroll, they clinched that 4th seed playoff. And then our sideline reporter, James Sparrow, during the commentating, I had mentioned I thought we were going to go play UMS Wright, but James clarified that whoever was going to win that game was probably going to play Clay Central. So that's where they'll go, and that's Coach Plott there. But Trojans, we took an early lead on a 1-yard touchdown run by Parker Adams. Nicholas Pearson added the PAT. Carroll answered back with a 31 touchdown pass from Keyshawn Cole to Decod McLeod. And let me tell you something, that Keyshawn Cole, good gracious. He's a sophomore, but, man, it was tough bringing him down. He's a heck of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Cole also added a 12-yard TD run to give Carroll then a 12-6 lead. All in all, it was just a Cole show. I mean, they ran him either left or right, and again, with our young team and team going both ways, it was just tough to stop that potent offense there at the end. And we mentioned it. I sent a little stat sheet to my buddies. The amount of flags for both teams was just very unorthodox. And even though Carroll beat us, Carroll had more flags than Charles Henderson. But it just really slowed up the game. That game was not over like 10-15. So, and you know, me and Neil were right on the commentary. I mean, the flags were there. I mean, they weren't throwing it. I mean, but if it was holding or if it was just a touch in the back.
Does it affect the play or not?
Yeah, but anyway, Charles Henderson will play this week against Headland. That's going to be their homecoming game, and I believe Charles Henderson can reel off a win there.
Good deal. We got the Cottonwood Bears. They played Randy Bryant's Zion Chapel Rebels Friday night. They defeated the Rebels 54-28. And I was wrong a while ago. It's Cottonwood, and Gene Cannon is going to battle for that last fourth place. Cottonwood's having a good year. They're 5-4 and 3-3 in the area. You know, for Zion Chapel, who's 0-8, 0-6, Mason Stewart, who's just a ninth grade quarterback for Coach Bryant. He accounted for all 4 touchdowns. 3 in the air he threw, and 1 he ran for the Rebels.
And Chuck, go on down to Pike Lib and Valiant Cross.
All right. You know, first thing, the Pike Louisville Patriots, they defeated Valiant Cross 47-7, and that was a 300th victory for Pike Lib's football program. You know, I was there for a few of those, so that's pretty neat about the Patriots. Patriots are now 7-1. They've won 7 games in a row. The Patriots finished with 461 total yards on offense, 409 of which came on the ground, which is really good. Offensive line must have been doing a really good job.
Yes,
the offensive line, they showed out. And Keith Williams, I heard, had a really good night on both sides of the ball, on O-line and D-line.
Do I hear Marco's Pizza in the making?
I think so. Anytime they ran for that many yards, you got to look at an offensive lineman to go. You know, the quarterback, Casey Eubanks, rushed for 180 yards, 11 carries, and 1 rushing touchdown. Also, he had completed 2 of his 10 passes, 52 yards. Patriots will close out region play next week when they travel to Glenwood, which is a rematch of the state championship.
Heck yeah. And, hey, we're up against our last break, but don't turn that dial because we're going to find out who beat Wally's Pizza. I'll be right back.
Oh, man, what a nice day with the windows down. Yeah, cruising right along, man, just running around Troy. Hey, man, what's that smell? What do you mean? That's Hook's Barbecue, man.
Oh, that's Hook?
Hooks? Oh, I'm going to Hook's, brother. Oh, my God, hold on. Good Lord, Wally, what in the world? Hooks, baby. Good Lord, help us all. He about killed us. Good gracious. Man, what in the world? You just dang T-boned me right here. What in the heck? Playing with fidget spinner? What, did you have a wreck?
Mr. Wally.
Man, this girl right here playing with this fidget spinner, texting on the phone to T-bone me right here in the parking lot. I was about to go pay my speeding ticket.
Right here at the police station?
Yeah.
Well, luckily at the police station, we can just call All-Star Collision 808-8822. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. Can I have the fidget spinner back?
Yeah, you can have
Please,
it.
Mr. Wally.
All
Thank
she's
you.
worried about is a fidget spinner. Call All-Star Collision for all your accidents. 808-8822.
You gained donuts?
Neil, call Jason Jones.
What is it?
Out of oxygen, man.
Out of oxygen? You got your snorkeling device right there. What do you mean you out of oxygen?
Oh, all this is to show people where you are, man.
What's that? Why do you can breathe through that?
I need to call Jason.
Unbelievable. Jason, can you bring some oxygen from Jones Medical Supply down to St. Andrews State Park at the Jetties while he needs some oxygen? Call Jason Jones for all your oxygen needs. We're out here at this lovely pond with the Alabama Real Estate Connection crew. They can hook you up all types of land, recreational sports, ponds, and everything. We're fishing to catch us a big old brim.
I got one, Wally.
Deal,
what if you want something other than just a fishing pond?
Well, if you're looking for hunting land, the Alabama Real Estate Connection will help you with all your hunting land needs too. Here are the agents right here. They'll hook you up with your hunting land. Call us. Make sure you contact the Alabama Real Estate Connection for all your real estate needs. Look at these fine agents right here. All your real estate needs. They can find anything for you, maybe even a Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Man, hey, what are you not coming in to get some Crow's chicken and brundage?
I need some nugget sauce, man.
I'd like a nugget dinner with extra sauce and roll. Don't worry about him. He's all the time over in the door.
Lord bless you. Nugget dinner.
We're going to eat it here. Crow's and brundage.
Frozen brundage.
Hey, what's going on today?
Mr. Bill, do you know this guy? He comes here every day for breakfast and lunch.
This guy over here?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do know him.
Man, look at the size of this chicken right here, man.
Oh my God, Wally, how many days in a row have you eaten here?
Every day, bro.
Come out to the Pig Cafe Monday through Friday, breakfast and lunch. The biggest cat head biscuits for breakfast and the crispiest fried chicken for lunch. Come out to the Pig Cafe. 3, 2. Man, what kind of call is that? Are you kidding me? The ball bounced in front of the plate.
Hey, he's out of there, baby.
What in the world? You can't see nothing. I'm over here. I'm over here. What are you doing?
Well,
The
right
ball
down the
bounced in
middle.
front of the plate. Man, he needs to go to Troy Eye Care, 566-7172, and get those eyes checked immediately.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're running out of time, but I want to get in to cover the Troy Trojans. Had a big win on the road at Texas State yesterday. Troy's Keyshawn Swanson returned an interception, 33 yards for the go-ahead touchdown with 8 minutes left. Anytime you get a pick six on defense, it's pretty special. And the Trojans held on to win 31-28 over Texas State at Bobcat. That improved the Trojans to 4-3, 2-1 in the Sun Belt Conference. It'll be Troy's 10th straight victory over Texas State. Now Troy is having a little time off, and they will not play this week, and they will play on national TV against Coastal Carolina not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Ooh, that's going to be a
Yeah, and real quick before Wally, the Dodgers, James just says up 2-0 on the Braves.
Unbelievable. Well, hey, this Mike Knotts beat Wally and stole his pizza. So, Mike, congratulations on that. And this is this week's games. There's Mike. Pike live at Glenwood, and that's going to be the tiebreaker. Most points scored without going over, closest to it. Greenville at Pike Road, I think that's going to be a good game. Thompson at Hoover, I went outside the box. I like Hoover in that game, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Carroll, I know Carroll at Andalusia, that's going to be a good one. Luverne at Isabella, I think there's implications for first or second place, Chip. Wallace texting about that. Then Enterprise at Auburn, and those are the games there. And we'll just kind of finish up again. Chuck, I just thank you so much for coming on the show and helping us. I know Neil's with his family there at Tallahassee, Florida.
You think they're eating somewhere really well today? You know,
check us out. Oh man, you know Neil's going to eat somewhere well. But we will see Neil next week back here, and I know it's going to be a lot of fun and all that. So what you got going on this week?
Well, Gardner started basketball, so
I saw some pictures. He put some pictures on there.
This past Thursday, so they got a game tomorrow, Tuesday, and Thursday. But my little one, Brian, he's got the flag football playoffs tomorrow. And if they win tomorrow, they're in the Super Bowl. So I told him, I said, now Brian, when Gardner played, and me and Will and Wally coached and Noah, I said we did pretty dang good. So he's a lot of bragging going on in the house right now, about that. But that's my week between flag football and basketball.
We played for the championship. Remember that?
We did.
And got cheated.
Kevin Brown,
and Doug Brandt. Kevin Brown and Doug Brandt.
We want the trophy back, right?
We want the trophy back, man. That was the Eric Mizell trophy, and I wanted it so bad. Well, listen, folks, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed week. Be safe. Wear a jacket, and we will see you next week. See ya.